Hi everyone. I've been MIA for a couple of weeks. Sorry about that. Yesterday was just I was tired and I fell asleep and then it wasn't 6 anymore. So I just wanted to just go over what Unabridged is for people that have never watched before. Basically, this is just a place where I can talk about things that I'm struggling with or have overcome something, or just things that are on my heart that I feel like I need to share with people. And hopefully by me sharing, it's a way of helping other people. And life is hard, and I feel like we have too much pressure to be perfect. And this is just a way for me to tell you that I'm not perfect, and maybe it'll help inspire you in some way. Tonight I want to talk about rejection. Isn't that exciting? A nice fun topic. And why do I want to talk about rejection? Well, I've kind of been going through it, and so I just wanted to share some tips of how I get out of it. And rejection is everywhere, and I think rejection is super hard, and it's like a generalization. Hi. It can be, well, I am perfect, Jenna. That's why. No, I'm just kidding. It can be rejection from a job you didn't get. Maybe you got fired. Maybe it's a friendship that's not lasted. Maybe it's an abandonment from parents. Maybe it's a relationship that broke up. And it comes in all shapes and sizes, and I don't think any other form is easier than another. And so I just wanted to kind of go over some tips of how we can get through rejection, how we don't let rejection define us, and just tell you about some struggles that I've been having. So I went through a breakup not too long ago, and the struggle for me that resurfaced was seeing this person with somebody else and knowing that somebody else is making them happy. And I think that was kind of like the worst rejection, not that it didn't work out, but that somebody else was, I'm not going to say better, because that's not necessarily the case, but just better for him. And maybe not. Maybe it's not going to work out. I don't know. So how do we get over that? And for me, so I have like 5 tips. And I'm just going to say that for those of you who don't know, I started a website. And so this manuscript and like just more thoughts of it is on my website. So if you want to check it out, I'll share a link after. But so just start out with the first thing in rejection is don't let it define you. Hi, Cleon. Don't let it define you, and really stay away from the negative self-talk, because I think, especially like if you get fired, what is rejection? Like basically rejection is somebody doesn't want you. Whether it's a job or a relationship, they're just like, nah, you're not really it for me. And so I think we can really quickly spiral into negative self-talk. Sometimes even calling ourselves names, telling us we're not good enough, we're not wanted, we're not needed, and we all want to be needed and loved and accepted. And so that's an easy thing to do, but really avoid this. And if you have friends that are going through rejection, make sure they're not wallowing in negative thinking, because that is where we start doing this downward spiral. And rejection can really take somebody down to depression and the rock bottom. And so what I'm sharing with today is just help you, maybe if you're feeling rejection or somebody who's going through rejection, that you don't let yourself get to that rock bottom. And in fact, you can rise above and be stronger and happier than you were before. So now we're avoiding self-talk. But the first thing, and friends, like for those of you, I don't know why I was going with that. There's a Bible verse that says, the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy, and I come that you may have life and have it to the fullest. And whenever I'm feeling that negative self-talk, I remind myself of that, and I remind myself that Satan wants us to fail, and he wants us to feel destructed. Is that a word? I don't think that's a word. But God does not want that. So all that negative self-talk is letting the enemy win. So remember that. So moving on, and this is the step that I feel like I'm not very good at, and it's letting yourself feel. I call it feel to heal. Because if you don't give yourself those moments to like understand that you have feelings, and if you just try to sweep it under the rug, it kind of just stays there and festers, and it can just be really unhealthy. So give yourself time to heal, but not very like, give yourself time to feel, but not like tons of time. Like the other night when I was kind of going through it, I said, okay, you can have this next couple of hours until you go to bed, and then when you wake up in the morning, you need to just get over it. We need to move forward. So the other night when I just had found out some information, I just shut myself in my room. I turned on Carrie Job's new album. You should get it, The Garden. It's great. I really should be her PR person. I turned it on. I cried out to God. I tried to avoid negative self-talk, but I just really prayed and had my moment, and then I went to bed and then woke up renewed. You know, baby steps. I didn't just like wake up like, oh, the world is great again, but I woke up to try to move forward and not live in that moment. So let yourself feel. Rely on your friends. I know I was texting one of my friends and she was trying to be positive, and I was just like firing back like, no, I'm never going to get married. I'm never going to do this. And she kind of stopped texting me, which was for the better, because I was like, just didn't want to hear anything good that night. So allow yourself those moments, but try, even when you're in those moments of feeling, try to avoid the negative self-talk, because that's not helpful. Feel, acknowledge that your situation sucks. If you got fired, maybe you got wrongfully fired, maybe somebody lied and that's why a relationship ended, and you want to have like revenge on people. Like that never really goes well. Just heal and feel. Be angry, be sad, be mad, but try not to bring yourself down in that moment. Sorry, I have notes to my left. This is a super big, important one. Connect with people that love you. Because I think tendency in this situation is we like to shut ourselves in and we like to isolate ourselves, and we don't want to be happy or whatever. You're avoiding life, but let people know you're hurting. Surround yourself. Trisha, hi. Surround yourself with people that love you. They can tell you when you're trying to be negative. They can tell you how amazing you are. Get out, try to do something fun. Don't sit at home and feel sorry for yourself. That's never going to happen. Never going to happen. That's never going to end well, right? Give yourself a moment to feel, but then get around people that love you. Have somebody come over and bring you ice cream, because that's always good, right? Everybody loves ice cream. Don't eat your feelings, though. That's always not good. Connect with people that love you. Try not to be on here forever, because I'm not sure. Yes. Cleon, great comment, because I was texting him like my world was over that night. So thank you, Cleon, for being there. Now, here's a big one, and I think this is the hardest one to do, is take a constructive look in the mirror. Ice cream's always good. You're right, it is. It's really good. And they have a protein ice cream that I haven't tried called Halo Top, and it's like 240 calories a pint. Anyway, just saying, you should try it. So this is like my biggest shout out, is like be introspective, because we don't grow as people unless we're honest with ourselves and what we need to work on and what we need to change. And I think rejection's a really awesome time to do this, because Halo Top is bomb. Okay, good. Humble, it's hard to find it. So constructive criticism to yourself. Write down things that, like really think about the situation. Maybe you got fired. Okay, when you're over your feelings, sit down and say, what was my part in this? Even if you feel like it wasn't your fault, there's always something that you can do better. And that is how you grow. Like, if don't let the rejection define you, but grow from it. If it's a relationship that broke, if it's a friendship or a romantic one, what could you do better for the next relationship that comes into play? Learn from it. Make it a learning experience and grow, and be honest with yourself. If you need to, go find a counselor that will be honest with you. I think counselors that don't know you very well are a lot. Actually, I've never been one, but they're a lot more like open. You know, your friends love you and they don't want you to hurt, so they might be like kind of honest but not really honest like you need. So maybe find a non partisan, that's not the right word, I can't speak English tonight. Find somebody who's going to be brutally honest with you, and don't get defensive, listen. And that's how we grow as people, to live that unabridged life. Don't you know it? Counselors are great. I think they are too. I tend to tell everybody my problems, so I have like 1,000 counselors, but or a pastor. I talk to my pastor a lot about things. Definitely don't know how to be unhonest. Yeah, Heather's a really good honest person. So be constructive about what's going on in your life. And the last one is get back out there. Don't let this stop you. You know, I think, and Heather's a good example of it. She applied for a bunch of jobs when the place she was working was closing and she needed a job, and she could have just stopped and said, forget it, I'll be on unemployment. But she kept getting out there and she found the world's best job working with me. Lucky her. But it's hard when you get rejected to get back out there, but it's important, especially like in the dating world. I think it's really hard because you might have trust issues. Get back out there. If you need a cheerleader, I'm not very good at cheering, like cheerleading, but I will help you in any way I can. But that's my kind of spiel on rejection today. Hi, Kelly Kime. Are you still there? Don't let it define you. So let's go over the 5-step process. Don't let rejection define you. I need my cheat sheet. Feel to heal. Connect with people you love. That's number 3. Take a constructive look in the mirror at yourself and how you can become a better person. And lastly, do you like my voice? Lastly, get back out there. Isn't that fun? Rejection sucks, let's just be honest. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Doesn't make you feel good. Somebody telling you no, you're not good enough, I don't like you. But don't let it define you. And also, I think one thing to I think sometimes I make excuses for people, I don't know. I really like when people cut you off in traffic to say they have explosive diarrhea. That really helps me not get angry. But don't get in the moment where you just start really ripping the other person apart. Maybe it's a job you didn't get. Don't rip apart your boss or whatever, because in the end that's not really gonna be good for anyone. So just try to stay positive in the rejection process. I mean, grieve, give yourself time, but don't let it bring you down. So that's all I have for this week. Next week, I'm super excited. Can you tell? I'm super excited because I'm going to have a guest next week. Her name is Bella, and she's amazing. And God has been really working in her life. And she's got a pretty awesome testimony that I posted yesterday. We're going to talk about prayer and the power of prayer, because prayer is amazing. And she just sent me another awesome answer to prayer tonight, and her prayer life's really strong. Mine can be a little bit stronger lately, if I'm being honest. So we're going to talk about prayer, the power of prayer, and it's going to be really good. You're going to love Bella. She's pretty awesome. So I hope you join us next week. We'll be on Sunday again. Sorry for my napping incident. That's all. I hope you guys get out there and live that unabridged life. Go check out my website. It's fun. There's pineapples. Who doesn't love a pineapple? All right, y'all. Have a good night. If you're college age, we're having Bible study in 40 minutes. You should come. Camel Creek Connection. That's my last spiel of the day. Bye-bye.